Joining me now is Tennessee Senator Marsha Blackburn, member of the Senate Judiciary, Finance, Commerce, and Veterans Affairs Committee. Senator, thanks so much for being here. You questioned Pam Bondi yesterday, as well as questioning Transportation Secretary nominee Sean Duffy, and today you'll be questioning Treasury Secretary nominee Scott Bessent. You also walked with Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth to his hearing Tuesday. What's your takeaway on getting these nominees confirmed?
We are going to get these nominees confirmed, Maria. They are doing an outstanding job. I am just so honored to be a part of this process and to see these nominees step forward. And Pam Bondi yesterday did just a masterful job in holding her own, being calm, not taking the bait from the Democrats, pushing back on people like Adam Schiff, who was so disrespectful to her, and she was very gracious to him. But what was so interesting, they want to talk about the past. They have learned nothing from the elections in November, and they're not talking about the things the American people are talking about, which is rising crime, things that are happening at the border, what we see happening with gangs in communities. And that is what the American people wanted to hear. They wanted to hear about transparency and a restoration of respect at the U.S. Department of Justice. Yeah. And the Democrats didn't want to talk about that at all.
Well, it's unbelievable when you consider the crime spiking in California, as well as all of those gangs that you just mentioned, the Tren de Aragua gang, harassing people across the country, this gang from Venezuela. And what does Adam Schiff ask about? Liz Cheney?
You just can't make it up.
Yeah.
And I don't know what happened with that committee in the House. We do know Adam Schiff was censored. We do know he subpoenaed records from a call with a reporter. We do know what he did to Devin Nunes. But then they continue to talk about the January 6th committee. You continue to hear about preemptive pardons for people that were a part of that process. So it really makes you wonder, did they operate outside the law? And people are correct in asking that question because they are mighty worried about it now. And they do not want to focus on the issues of the border, of crime, of safety and security. They're all about the past and covering their steps.
Meanwhile, President Trump was adamant about having those hostages in Gaza returned before he returns to the White House. Israel is now delaying its cabinet vote to approve this ceasefire deal with Hamas. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is accusing the terrorist group of backtracking on parts of the agreement. I'd like to know what you can tell us about this. President Biden is trying to take credit for everything on this deal. He did so during his farewell speech last night. President-elect Trump, meanwhile, posted this on Truth Social. This epic ceasefire agreement could have only happened as a result of our historic victory in November. My national security team, through the efforts of Special Envoy to the Middle East, Steve Witkoff, will continue to work closely with Israel and our allies to make sure Gaza never again becomes a terrorist-safe haven. Arab officials told the Times of Israel Steve Witkoff, Trump's Middle East envoy, swayed Netanyahu more in one meeting than Biden did all year, Senator. First question is, do you know where we stand on this ceasefire agreement and your reaction to how we got here?
And we got here because President Trump has taken charge of this situation. And Maria, after he was elected, you began to see things change. And the fact that he has told Hamas there will be all hell breaking loose, they know that because they know if Donald Trump tells them something, he is going to take that action. And Steve Witkoff has stayed through this negotiation process. He is bringing entities together. If we get this finalized, it is not because of Joe Biden. It is because of Donald J. Trump, and it is in spite of Joe Biden and his team's efforts.
The Supreme Court has yet to make its ruling on TikTok and this ban that's coming up. Chinese parent company ByteDance has until this Sunday to divest its U.S. operations or face a ban in America. The Washington Post says Trump is, quote, considering an executive order once in office that would suspend the enforcement of the TikTok ban or sale law for 60 to 90 days, buying the administration some time to negotiate a sale or an alternative solution. Where do you think this is going? I mean, thousands of American TikTok users joining China-based social media app Rednote in anticipation. Experts say they're moving out of TikTok and into Rednote. The app could carry even greater security risks than TikTok, Senator. Your thoughts?
And what we know is that the Chinese Communist Party is desperate to maintain access to data and information of U.S. users, because what they do is to build a virtual you. What they have done with TikTok, the reason it was banned, it is so invasive. So the goal has to be putting the burden on these platforms, finding a way to protect U.S. users and their data and their information, and not have this spyware invading everyone's phone.
Well, do you believe that Trump's nominees will all be confirmed? There were some questions about Tulsi Gabbard as well.
Yeah. Oh, I think everybody's going to get confirmed, Maria. They are doing such a great job. We're so proud of them. And indeed, everyone should be confirmed. And bear in mind, we're going to be working in the Senate as soon as the inaugural is complete. We're going to be confirming nominees. We're going to be advancing nominees, marking them up in hearings. We may even do a hearing or two on inaugural afternoon.
I see. Okay. So, Senator, the hearing on inaugural afternoon would focus where? On TikTok or on your plans to execute Trump's agenda?
On the nominees. On the nominees, to get them pushed through the process. So we want to complete this. We're working on the Lake and Riley Act. We would like to get that back over to the House and then to the President's desk as soon as we possibly can after he is sworn in. We're looking forward to the 100 executive orders that he is going to execute the afternoon after he is sworn in. We think that is a good start. It might take us 1,000 executive orders to undo all the bad that Joe Biden has done. But the point is, Maria, we are going to be there working. We are not going to waste one single minute of the Donald J. Trump administration.
Do you expect the tax extensions to be in the first package?
The tax extensions, I think, are going to take a little bit longer to work out. At Finance Committee, we have worked through this process. We are ready to begin moving forward, and you will see Senate Finance move forward with how we would approach this. Of course, the House is going to have to initiate this. We're going to do all we can to help them to be judicious in how they approach it and to look at pegging to current policy, not to current law, which will make the process easier.
All right, we'll leave it there. We'll be watching your work, Senator. It's great to talk with you this morning. Thank you. Marsha Blackburn this morning. Stay with us.